Welcome to IT Handy Guide tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to demonstrate how to update PHP version. In order to update PHP version, I have to revise what is the PHP configuration file. So firstly, you have to go to C drive, go to PHP, and there's a file is called PHP-ini. This is the file that we can configure PHP. Firstly, you have to know what is the extension directory. So you search this. Here is the extension directory. That is actually point to this folder. Everything over here is the extension for PHP. If you try to search MySQL, you will realize there are actually the plugins. Like, for example, this is a BC2. BC2 represent this one, and CURL represent this one. Each of these extensions actually there are DLL file, and each DLL file is the PHP extension that gives the extra function to PHP. By default, we comment everything. So that means by default we disable all extension. We only use it. We only enable the extension when we try to use it. There are a few extensions that I recommend you to enable. That is this. The first one is called BC2. BC2 extension means using open source compression software. It's like a 7-zip in Windows. BC2 is a compression software in Unix or Linux. When we enable this, then we can compress the file in Linux, in Linux server. The next one is CURL. CURL is necessary for PHP-MyAdmin. And this is the software that we can control the database online. It allows us to receive and send information via URL. It's really like API stuff. Next one is file info, this one. File info is helpful to read the file information like content type, etc. Next one is GD. I personally guess GD stands for graphic design, but I didn't really Google it. You can have a look if you like. This extension is used for image creation or manipulation. Next one is getText. getText extension can look at message in a current domain. Therefore, look at this. When you try to enable getText, CURL, file info, getText, we normally enable these three altogether, because they are actually related to URL syntax. Okay, the next one is MB string. If you want to create a Chinese website, or if you want to create a multi-language website, then you must enable MB string. MB string is to read multi-byte characters such as Chinese characters. 1 byte character is English, 2 byte character is Chinese characters. So basically, if you want to have a multi-language, you must have a MB string. EXIF. Well, if you enable MB string, you also have to enable EXIF. I don't know why, but you can Google by yourself. We normally enable these two together. OpenSSL. This extension is for encryption. And this one, and this one. This is for MySQL. So we normally enable these three for MySQL straight away. Okay, next. After you have some modification in PHP-ini, then you also have to restart the service, the Apache service. In this case, you need to open the Service Manager, and in Service Manager, you should restart the Apache like this. Why do you have to restart the Apache? if you go to Apache, over here, there's a conf means configure, and this one is Apache configure file. Go to the end, you will see here we actually load the PHP ini to Apache. This is PHP ini directory. This is the location of the PHP ini. So basically, what we have done is we load the PHP ini into Apache. Therefore, every time when we change the PHP ini, we should also restart Apache. And there's one more thing you can restart. It's called MySQL 80. This one, the truth is you don't have to restart MySQL 80, but it doesn't really take too much time. So every time when you restart Apache, you can also restart MySQL just to be more secure. You actually update everything. Okay, the next one is you can try the local host. Try to run the local host. In previous video, I update my Apache port to 8888. Therefore, I have to type 8888. So basically, after you set up everything, then you have to go to C drive, Apache, HT document to check your index.php. Over here, you will see this is the hello world, and this is the database connected, and this is the PHP info. Okay, when you can run the PHP info, you need to search MySQLi. If you can see this picture, that means you actually enable MySQL. And if you can see this, that means you actually enable OpenSSL. So PHP info actually give you a lot of information regarding your extension as well. So the next thing you can try is you can type the connection string. So this is the connection string. This is your host address for your MySQL. MySQL is currently hosted in my local machine, so I type localhost. This is the username, this is the password, and this is the database that I want to connect. If you go to MySQL Workbench, connect to the root, and you go to administration, user and privilege. Here are the users that you can use. I use test user right now. You can see this is the test user and the password for test user. If you don't remember the password, you can change the password over here. If you go to the schema, I use my test DB1, which is this one. So I try to connect this database. If there's anything wrong, like this, you will see there's an error message, because if there's anything wrong, show me the error message and die. Die means don't do anything, just stop here. So if your password is correct, then you will be able to connect to the database. That means your connection string is fine. So you have to write the connection string to confirm your PHP can actually connect to MySQL database. The next one is this. Okay, in the PHP ini, some of the variable they actually have 3 value. The first value is the default value. The second value is the development value. This is for the development environment. This is for the production environment. Production environment is like your hosting, and development environment is like your it's like the computer that developer use it. And we normally use development value in our local machine because we need to we need because our local machine is normally to create a website and to develop the website. The next one is this one, max execution time. This one, it means the website will return time out if the execution time is over 30 seconds. I normally change to 600, means 600 seconds. That means 10 minutes. Okay, when I try to update my WordPress version, because it takes like a while to update the WordPress version. 30 seconds might not good enough to update the WordPress version. That's the reason I normally change to 600 when I update the WordPress version. But after I update WordPress version, I change back to 30 seconds. The next one is memory limit. Okay, don't change this because this is probably the minimum limit that we can do for PHP. We should always give 128 megabytes for PHP at least. Even though it means the website will only use up to 128 megabyte memory. If you think your website will use more memory, then you can change here. But we really should give this 128 as a minimum. The next one is error reporting. In the error reporting, over here, that means it will show me all the error, especially in development value. If you are in production environment, then these two value, these two kind of error, you shouldn't display. The next one is display error on. Oops. This one is the display error on. Display error on means I will display all the error, and as this is necessary for debugging, but in the production environment, you shouldn't display any error because that will scare the user. Therefore, in production value should be off. Next one is post the maximum size. Okay, that means the website can only post up to 8 megabyte size of font. So what is a font? When your user try to fill a form, like they try to fill the username, password, this is a form. They try to enter a description, this is a form. So every time when they try to click the submit button, they actually submit a form and post to your website. So when I say post, and this form size can only be 8 megabyte. Okay, so up to 8 megabyte size of form they can post. If you want to increase this number, you can, but I think 8 megabyte is really good enough. You shouldn't have too much. You shouldn't give too much megabyte for the phone. Okay, the next one is file upload. Here are the variable for the file upload. File upload on means yes, you can upload the file, and file upload temp directory, that means where do you want to upload your file. Okay, and this one means let me show you. This one means upload file size must up to 2 megabytes, and 20 means you can only upload up to 20 files, and that's it. Okay, alright, so I have just introduced most of the variable that you might use in the future, and in the next section I'm going to show you how to update the PHP version. Firstly, you have to stop MySQL and stop Apache. So I have just stop MySQL and stop Apache, and I'm going to download the PHP for Windows. So you have to try to Google PHP for Windows, and the first one, get into there, then click download, and here you can download the version 8.1.0. This is the latest one. And there are two kinds of PHP. The first one is non-thread safe. Second one is thread safe. If you are using IIS, you can use non-thread safe. If you are using Apache, then you have to use thread safe. Okay, so in this case, you have to download the thread safe. You have to download this one. It will be a zip file. So after you download, then you can install. So let me go back to the machine, which is over here. So close this one, close this one, close this one. Okay. So this is the file that I've downloaded. This is a PHP 8.1.0. So I'm going to the C drive, and I need to change this PHP to old. And over here, I need to copy this zip file into the C drive. I realized it didn't allow me to copy to the C drive, so I create a new folder and copy to a new folder, and try to unzip in a new folder. Get into here and double check the value and check the version. This version is 8.1.0. So come back to here, change to PHP. Control X to cut. Come back to the previous folder, which is C drive. Paste to here. So I can delete new folder. So now what I have is PHP, and this PHP is 8.1.0, 8.1.10, and the other one is 8.1.8. So this is the old version PHP. This is new version PHP. So the next one, okay. So I need to get into here. This is a new version. At the moment, they don't have the PHP INI. So I need to create a new PHP INI. And this is the machine for developer. So I copy this one and Control C, Control V to paste over here. Change the name to PHP INI. So this is the PHP INI for this machine. So now I have a PHP INI. I need to confirm I add this path to my variable environment. So I need to right click here, property, advanced system setting, environment variable, system variable, select path, click edit. Oh, I already have there. So I need to ensure I have a C drive PHP this path over here. Press OK, press OK, press OK, and close this one. So now I need to type cmd, open the command prompt. I need to type path. I need to confirm there is a C PHP over here. That means my environment variable set up correctly. So now I can type PHP -v is 8.1.0. That means this is a new version. And I need to compare the PHP configuration file in new version and the PHP configuration file in old version. So I need to open P4 merge. And this is the new version, and this is the old version. So I press OK. So this is the old version. Sorry, this is new version, and this is old version. You can see there's the old over here. So you have to click here. That means edit the file in left pane, because I want to edit the new version configuration file. So over here, the new version said this is ext. Old version said this is a C drive PHP ext folder. I want to use the green value, so I select green. So now the new version will use the old version value. So I can I can press Ctrl S to save later. Okay, but I don't want to press Ctrl S right now. So I go to next. Okay, old version I didn't enable these two extension. Sorry, new version I didn't enable these two extension, but new version, yes, I enable these two. So I select a new one. And next one, I want to use the green value. Next one, I want to use green value. Next one, MB3 EXIF. Yes, I want to enable the 3, so I want to use the this one is OpenSSL. I want to use green value. Next one is MySQL. I want to use the green value, and this one is for the MySQL Lite as well. So that's pretty much everything. So you have to confirm every single. This is every single different. Okay, this is jump to the next different. Every single different you have to double check, and once you double check, you press Ctrl S to save. And there's no more different. Then you can close this one. Then you can go to the C drive PHP to open PHP INI. You can double check the dir. They actually changed to a C drive PHP ext. Then you can double check MySQL. And this one is all of the extension. You have just the enable. So you can close this one. Close this one. So we have just set up we have just set up our configuration file. So now I can what I can do is I have to enable. I have to activate our Apache service and the MySQL service. So I need to go to the service manager. So in the service manager, I just right click and press start. MySQL over here, I need to right click and press start. Okay, so I can connect to the MySQL workbench, type RRT, that is my password. And over here, I can see I have a different user. I have a test user and test user 2, PNA and root. Schema, I have a mytestdb1, mytestdb2. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to localhost. Previously, I changed the port to 8888 in Apache, so I still use this port. Then I need to go to C drive, Apache, HT document to check my index PHP. I need to confirm this is a hello world, this is a nice database connected, and this is the PHP info. This is the PHP info. So in the PHP info, you have to check you have MySQLi and you have OpenSSL. That means your extension is enabled. And then come back to here, you need to write a connection string. MySQL server is in the local machine. This is my username, this is my password, which is this username. This username. If you can't remember the password, you can reset your password here. And I want to connect to this database, which is this one. I want to connect to this database. I need to confirm this database is currently existed. So once the connection string is ready, if the connection is failed, tell me the error message and die. Die means don't do anything else. Stop here. At the moment, the connection string is success, therefore it shows me nice database connected. If I didn't type the right password, it will show me the error message like this. if I change back, that tells me the database connected again. So now I'm pretty sure my connection string is right, and I'm also pretty sure my PHP can connect to MySQL. So my PHP configuration is totally fine. Over here, what is next? Okay, so because I have done everything to update, so I can close everything right now. And close this one. Okay, what I can do is I need to delete the old version. So this is the last step you should do. So now what I've done is I successfully to update the PHP version from 8.1.8 to 8.1.10. Okay, I hope you enjoy my tutorial. Have a good day.